Hi, I'm Chef Alex Askew, and welcome back to Mindful Eating for the Beloved Community, another series of healthy food that makes you feel good, and it tastes good too. Let's talk a little bit about greens and grains. Did your mama ever say, your grandma ever say, eat your greens? You ever know why? Because they're good for you, that's why. And deep green leafy greens have some of the best nutrition pound for pound. They're rich in fiber, they have nutrients. Back in the old days, it was the collard greens and you drink the pot liquor. If you know what I'm talking about, you know how good greens are. And they can be good on its own, or you can actually have a little bit of meat or fish on the side. But make sure you get your greens and grains. And I've got a recipe that's so simple that everyone's gonna enjoy it at home, I guarantee you. And the whole family can actually participate. Let's go over our ingredients. First, I've got some really nice chopped up kale. Kale is you can actually make kale chips out of these if you just put them on a baking tray, and it's actually just as good as potato chips, I guarantee you. But what I'm going to be doing is mixing this with the grain barley. Now, barley is one of the top grains. It's extremely affordable. We're talking about $1.99 a pound, and it's easy to cook. All you need is a little bit of vegetable broth. You can use chicken broth if that's what you want to do, and you would cook it and steam it almost like a rice. It's way more nutritious than rice is, and has a lot more nutrient dense vitamins and minerals. So you want to make sure you get your vitamins and minerals. Now, when I'm talking about deep green leafy greens, you cannot leave out the collard greens. Kale, turnip greens, collard greens, all these deep green leafy vegetables are extremely healthy for you, and you can swap them out. So what I'm going to be doing is a recipe called crispy kale and sweet barley, caramelized barley, and I'm going to show you how simple this recipe is. First, you have your kale here, and again, you want to make sure it's washed and clean. It feels almost crunchy to the touch. And what we're going to do is we're going to add just a little bit of olive oil. Again, any light vegetable oil will do, but since we're roasting in the oven, we do need that little bit of oil. And you can just drizzle it like you're drizzling it over a salad. And it's as simple as that. And then you can add your seasoning. Again, salt and pepper. Make sure that you watch your salt, but a little bit of salt is okay. We're going to use a seasoned salt. You can use salt and pepper, and we're just going to sprinkle that on the kale, and we're going to just lightly toss it so all of that seasoning gets on every leaf here. We're going to give it some love, right? And so now we have our kale toasted. We want to get a sheet pan or a baking sheet, right? And we want to also just lightly spray it to make sure it doesn't stick. And again, this is the secret ingredient to doing the best type of cooking, is just a little bit of vegetable spray. It's about $2 a can. They have canola oil. This is actually canola oil. They have olive oil. They even have butter flavors, and it's the best for fat-free cooking. So we have our kale here, and we're just going to make sure that we evenly space it on the sheet pan. And again, give it some love, give it some attention. And once and the trick is to make sure that it's a single layer. That way each bit of the leaf can actually get roasted, and that's a big secret. So we have our oven here on 325, and This goes in the oven at 325 for 10 to 15 minutes. So now let's start on our barley. Okay, again, barley is considered an ancient grain, and what we're going to do is we're going to add some flavors to it to actually, one, caramelize, and we're going to be using some onion to do that. And then I'm going to teach you how to make almost like a sweet and sour, and that's a really kind of a cool situation. And you know, just a little bit of garlic powder. That's all. These are the basic ingredients that you need. So stay tuned while we take this to the oven, and I'm going to show you how to crisp up this barley. You hear that sizzle? That's how you know you have a hot pan. And we're going to give it some love here. And you see how that's actually starting to brown around the edges? That's exactly what you want to see. If you want to actually get some more sizzle, you can add a little tad of oil, and you'll hear that noise kick up. That means that's really caramelizing and getting all of that natural sugar. It's all in the wrist. And then we add our barley. And again, a half a cup of barley will make a cup and a half. So that means a pound of barley can almost make, a pound of dried barley can almost make 3 pounds of cooked barley. That's what makes this affordable. And so now that's starting to come together. And that's that noise you want to hear. That means that it's actually caramelizing. We want to check our kale real quick. And that's coming together really nicely. And now, how do you take something everyone loves, sweet and sour, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to create our own sweet and sour. And how we're going to do that is by adding some sweet and sour. So here are some perfect sweets and sours, and they're all natural. Orange juice and apple cider vinegar. You can use pineapple juice and white vinegar. It all complements each other as a sweet and a sour base. And what's going to happen now, as this pan heats up, I'm going to first hit it with the orange juice. And then I'm going to hit it with the cider vinegar. And you'll smell those aromas. You'll smell those aromas, and that's what you want. You want it to smell like a sweet and sour as well. So while this is coming down and we're almost done, let's take our kale up and start to plate it. And again, look at how this is. This actually is a more condensed flavor, and also you got them roast, and you hear that? That's that kale chip type of thing, and that's really what you want. That's going to make kale fun to eat, and whoever said kale would be fun to eat. So we have our kale. What we want to do is we want to just kind of place it in the middle, just like that. That's like restaurant grade there. And then let's grab our sweet and sour barley. And look at that. Look at just the steam is still coming off. Oh, that sweet and sour. That is going to make quite a dish here. And you can be as generous as you want. Again, you've got sweet, sour, crispy, all those flavors, all those textures. Tell me this doesn't look like a fun dish here. And you want to just mound it. And if you want to be really fancy, and I like to be fancy, we're just going to add a little bit of garnish to this. And again, you know, a little bit of parsley. We want to make things look pretty. And it goes, and actually you can eat parsley. Parsley's a really great herb. So if you want to chop it up and put it directly on it, that's fine as well. This is how you would serve it in a restaurant. And ladies and gentlemen, our audience, this is our crispy kale, sweet and sour barley. You're going to enjoy it, and maybe we'll even have someone come up and taste it. Anybody in our audience? Oh, wow, the same person. This is incredible. Let me grab a fork, and then we can try this out together. This is how you keep things convenient. You just have a fork and knife, and let's taste this together so I can get your reaction here.
You started without me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
And you want to get a piece of kale in there, and man, how is that? You got crunchy, a little bit of salt, but you got the sweet and sour. Would you believe this is healthy?
I'm sorry, I'm in the middle of something.
How easy is this to do? You can do it at home. Again, very affordable. Crispy kale. Let me finish chewing that. Crispy kale, sweet and sour barley. Everyone in the whole family. And if you even want to go an extra mile, put a piece of grilled chicken or fish. And now you've got a completely healthy and whole and nutritious and well-rounded and well-balanced and flavorful, tastes good, affordable. We'll be back with another recipe for mindful eating for the beloved community. And believe me, it's not as hard as you think to feel good and make things taste good. Take care for now. This is good.
I can't even talk.